The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Tsuburaya Productions. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tokucast.
Yes.
Another Tokutalk with our Villain Retrospective series.
Yes. Hello. It is us talking about the villains. This time, the villains are Vyram. Dimensional War Party Vyram from Jetman.
And where would you like to begin with this?
I will say this is probably still, even after the many years that it has been since Jetman has been on the air. Because it came out, how old am I? 31? 31 years ago?
31 today.
I absolutely love this villain group. I really like when the villains straight up don't like each other. And there's like always barely restrained hostility and them working behind the scenes to just subvert each other. And Jetman and another one we'll talk about in the future, Changeman, really do this very well. Although in Changeman it's a little more blatant how much they hate each other. But yeah, I really like Vyram just as a whole. Especially when you have somebody like the Empress coming in a little bit of the way into the show. And then one of the villains is like, what if I killed her?
And they did.
What if I do that? What if that's the thing I did? And then he did. So, yeah. But yeah, where do we really want to like go into this? The Empress, there isn't really much to talk about because she's only there for literally like 2 episodes. And then Radiguet just happens all over her. So, yeah. I want to save Radiguet for last. So I feel like we got to talk about Tranza.
Go ahead.
Tranza, a little kid who grew into Jen from Die Ranger. And also Dr. Kemp from Live Man, because this man is an amazing actor. I really like when a villain legitimately grows.
Yeah, from child to adult.
Yeah.
Don't see that often.
No. It's usually just, I'm a kid, and I'll stay the kid the entire time unless you're SPD and you have somebody who's annoying. But yeah, Tranza himself is just such an interesting entity in this show. Because, like I said, he is a kid, so he's sort of underestimated and undermined by the others. And then he grows up and takes over. And then he gets mind broken and put into a mental facility by Radiguet.
Oh dear.
So it's just like, well, now what? Such an interesting,
It's a dynamic you don't see often.
It's a series of unfortunate events.
It's a series of unfortunate backstabs and betrayals. Yeah. Because Vyram, they are a court of nobles. Yeah. A court of nobles from, dimensions, far beyond ours. And they've already conquered many others. Yeah. So they've conquered realm after realm after realm, and then they finally come to ours. And their opposition with Jetman is the thing that really starts stirring this conflict. Especially because it's like first. This is something that we don't see often I suppose we do, but maybe not to this extent, is the way the villains' opposition and the fact that they keep getting foiled by the heroes is one of the things that spurs them to start one-upping each other. Yeah. Because they've conquered so many realms in the past, they haven't really had to struggle as much as they do against Jetman. Yeah. And then they come here and it's all of a sudden it's like everything that we've been doing isn't working. And then the other people are like, ooh, everything they've been doing isn't working. Time for me to swoop in and try something of my own, or trying to depose them. I mean, it's truly a, it's a dance of the courtroom. Yeah. A dance of the royal court.
Especially in the terms of Maria and Gray. Maria, especially being Rio's basically his fiance, and she gets sucked out of the spaceship at the beginning, and then made into a member of the court of Vyram, and her whole entire story is, it's sad, especially when she basically sacrifices herself at the end of the story to save Rio and Kaori. It's just really interesting a thing to watch her growth and her gaining her memories back and then fighting against everything that they basically implanted into her. And then on the other hand, you have Gray, who is very stoic. He's a robot who smokes a cigar. He gets along randomly enough. Like, yes, they're rivals, but he and Guy like weirdly get along with each other. And I love their dynamic and his whole thing of really gaining emotions and falling in love with Maria. And then the final fight with Guy at the end of the show is just, it's so well done. Still, one of the things I think about the most in this show, especially when it comes to him, is when he and Guy are in the casino. And I believe Maria is the roulette lady.
The dealer.
Yeah, the dealer. It's just such an interesting dynamic, seeing them on a much more personal level, sort of interacting with each other, which we haven't really gotten a lot, except maybe from Jetman up to this point. And I love it. I think it's really well done.
When you think about the villains of Jetman, is there a particular scene or moment that jumps out to you?
Yes, because this sort of breaks a trope, and I sort of love when tropes get broken like this, and I think this is a good way to go into Renegade.
Oh, what's that one?
When Renegade turns human for like those 2 episodes, and then he like finds a girl that he like falls in love with or something, and then he is with her and he gets turned back into Renegade, and you would think it's just like, oh, I still have some emotion or some feelings for her, and he's like, I'm just going to not be as evil now, and nope, he kills her immediately and just goes back to somehow being worse than before. So I'm just like, he's the one who lived.
It's like he got a taste of the other side, and then when the other half took over again, it was like, wow, I hated that. I never want to experience that again.
Let's kill her. And then he does. And I'm sitting here like, oh, this isn't like any other show. Because usually when I, explain what happened. And
he would maybe raise a sword and be like, no, and he would storm away angry and conflicted. And this one, it's just like, nope.
And she would come back and
redeem
him.
Doubles down on the evil part.
Yeah, she would come back and redeem him. So we got rid of that redeemable quality immediately. And there was nothing to redeem him for. He just turned out to be an ass. But it's like, he's so interesting to watch, seeing his rivalry, especially with Tranza, come in, and then him doing what he did to Tranza. I'm just like, wow. And Nue, especially with being his first full outing in this show in particular, he was just like, I'm gonna do what I want. And he did, and he's doing it again right now
with
Dawn Brothers.
Dawn Brothers, yeah.
So it's so interesting, and I just love to watch this show. Like, yes, the heroes are interesting on their own, but man, do the villains like really complement.
For me, it's the heroes are what I remember most about Jetman. It's them, their interactions, it's their rivalries, it's their friendships, their romances, everything that blossoms from that. But the villains, the one that sticks out to me the most was Gray.
Yeah.
Gray, I think, is a great character. I think very well, well acted, really good costume and everything. And like you said, like, he's always in the back, just with his cigar, and he always has like a wine glass too that he's always swirling around. He's more sophisticated than this rabble, just preferring to keep to himself.
So good.
And he only really goes out when they need him. Otherwise, he'd just prefer to stay at home, smoking a fine cigar, having a fine vintage, and then he goes out when he's needed. And the way he develops throughout the show and what they eventually do with him,
especially when he is listening to Maria play the piano.
I like it when when the, shall we say, like the stoic one in the background is able to speak up, move forward, and eventually those around them realize, oh, they are truly a force to be reckoned with.
I think the thing that really helps...
It's a story device that I've always enjoyed.
With him, especially because he doesn't really say a lot. So it's really all come down to the suit actor and the director, who I think did exceedingly well with him, because you get so much, even the things that he doesn't say, but with the people that he spends his time around, and the way that he acts, like you said, with the cigar and the wine glass, but the time that he spends with Maria, you can sort of see those emotions developing that he has for her. So I just really appreciate everything that character stands for. He sort of reminds me of what's the one from Live Man? I can't remember right now. But the
Dr.
robot
Camp was into...
No, the robot they had in that show.
Oh.
It sort of reminds me of him, but done better. Essentially because they made the one from Live Man just so reliant on Bias. You know, it was the Dr. Brain and Monster Mala situation there.
Yeah.
But this time it was much more like Gray was a character. Gray had his own motivations. Gray had things that he wanted to do. So it's just like I really, really liked everything that was done with that character. I think Gray is one of the stronger points of this show. Even though he doesn't say a lot, man, does he say a lot. Yeah.
Is there anything that is used in the villains that you would like to see carried forward in future seasons? Things that they haven't used much since?
I would like to see more of the backstabbing. We don't really get that as much anymore. I like it when the villains have always like a thinly veiled hostility towards each other.
I think one of the closest examples we've got in the modern age has been Tokuger.
Yeah,
because Tokuger, they are again. It's like this. It is like a royal court, and we have the nobles who are all competing with each other, and we have the daughter who is being groomed to,
become the emperor's wife.
Become the emperor's wife, but eventually even succeed him and consume him and become more powerful. And then
I think that's the thing that honestly made the villains of Tokuger just very interesting to watch.
That should be our next one.
That should be our next one.
Yeah.
The shadow line is very interesting, and I can see a lot of the things that were from Vyram. I know it's sort of like just a standard in literature and things like that, but you can see a lot of the things that they took from Vyram into this. Where since there is the whole royal court thing, it's just like, wow, this is the royal court. It's all about backstabbing. It's all about having the most power. And appealing to those who do have power.
Either you win or you die.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, it does. Let us know what you think about Vyram in the comments below. What is your favorite villain group? Maybe we'll talk about them in another episode. Don't forget to join us on all the things, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching.